The 20th century was the era, the American century, when America pulled itself back from this notion of oligarchy to an incredible extent, invented a middle class. The things President Biden was talking about in that first 9 minutes, those are the things that the 20th century built when we beat back the robber barons and beat back the trust and established an income tax, which didn't exist until the 20th century, established women's rights, civil rights, immigrant rights. That's the 20th century. And these oligarchs, they've always been there. Who do you think was paying for, Rush Limbaugh? He was a very wealthy man. Fox is owned by an oligarch. Who do they think is funding the Ben Shapiro and other podcasts? The oligarchy's been hidden in the background the whole time. And Biden is this pivot president as America is hurtling towards sort of falling in love with these rich tech gods, these tech bros.
Joy Reid is struggling big time now that Trump has won. She's in full propaganda mode, pushing the Democrats' agenda to fight the next administration. It's wild to watch.
And I think it's important to say that, anyone who has experienced or been in the United States for any period of time and experienced this country's history and knows it cannot have believed that it would be easy to elect a woman president, let alone a woman of color. Let's just be clear. And nothing that was true yesterday about how flawlessly this campaign was run is not true now. I mean, this really was an historic, flawlessly run campaign. Queen Latifah never endorses anyone. She came out and endorsed. She had every prominent celebrity voice. She had the Taylor Swift, she had the Swifties, she had the Beehive. You could not have run a better campaign in that short period of time. And I think that's still true. Stuff in Texas. Now, I'm not saying she could actually get it. Yeah. But if you're the donor class that wants Trump gone, you tell her, thug it out for a few months. I'm going to put some more money in your bank account, because if he gets convicted, you do want to have a candidate with enough delegates to go in that can be on the floor and have a floor fight with Donald Trump.
Talking about stealing an election. And it's making me rethink whether I do believe election machines can be hacked. Because I've always been you can't hack the election machines, but they're convincing me, I don't know, maybe you can. I don't know.
I mean, to me in this world, anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
There are all these conspiracy theories out there about Trump and whether or not they cheated. I know you say that they didn't, but I know you kind of have.
Wait a minute. I didn't say they didn't. What I said is there is a rational explanation for why Kamala Harris could have lost those swing states and Trump won them. There's a way you can get to those numbers with people staying home or only voting for Trump and not the rest of the ballot. I'm saying there's a history of that. However,
let me hear it, because what
I will say is there was absolute voter suppression that took place, and I consider that cheating. If you think about the voter law in your state of Georgia, that law is anti-voter.
If you enjoy this type of content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's keep watching.
Bomb threats only in Fulton County. We don't know how many people stayed home out of fear because of the bomb threats in Fulton County. When you have Elon Musk waving around $1 million checks in order for people to vote for Trump.
Yeah.
Right. There's so many things that were done that were nefarious, to put aside just the actual voter suppression in these anti-voter laws that kept people from registering, that messed up people's voter registration when they showed up and all of a sudden they're not on the rolls.
But that happens every year, right? That happens
every
all
election.
the time.
So yeah,
what
I
I'm
think
talking about are these conspiracy theories about Elon Musk, somehow using his tech connections, because I don't want to say genius, because we know he's not.
Yeah, he ain't a genius.
But those relationships or whatever, because they just seem too confident. And I know, and I'm not saying it was the voting machines or whatever. It just doesn't add up to me with all the support that she had. And I know that for you, and because of what happened with Fox and because of what you do professionally with the network, you can't say it was the machines or something like that. But if you think it was the machines, but you can't say, just don't say anything. See, this is what I'm saying.
I'm not saying anything. All I'm saying is there are many ways to cheat in an election. And I don't ever put it past Republicans to cheat in elections, because they've been busted too many times.
All right, here's the recap of what's been going on with Joy Reid. She's seriously losing it over the fact that Trump is about to be president again. And she's gone all in on pushing propaganda to try to stop his next administration. She's making wild claims, jumping into conspiracy theories, and doing everything she can to paint this as the end of the world for Democrats. What's crazy is that this kind of behavior isn't new. It's like we're watching a rerun from last year. The liberal media, just like before, is taking whatever the Democrats say and amplifying it into major talking points. Joe Biden, in his farewell speech, warned about the dangers of an oligarchy and big tech's power. But let's be real, this is the same party that thrives on both. The Democrats didn't seem to mind billionaires and tech giants when they were funding their campaigns or censoring voices they didn't like. Now that big tech is pulling back on censorship and leaning a bit more toward free speech, suddenly, it's a problem. And Joy Reid? She's crying foul about the very oligarchy she celebrated not too long ago during Kamala Harris's campaign. She even pushed an outlandish conspiracy theory that Trump somehow stole the election from Harris through voter suppression. The thing is, every time they throw out these claims about voter suppression, they never actually provide any data or proof. No numbers, no evidence, just vague accusations that fall apart under scrutiny. It's wild to watch all of this unfold. Joy Reid's spiraling into full-blown conspiracy mode, and the media's trying to spin the narrative, but the contradictions are glaring. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.